Okay, to begin with, I apologize for the microphone audio in this video. I just don't have a good microphone at the moment. I'm using the microphone on my laptop. So this is to go over some of the features of this Batocer build that I've created. I'm just going to show you a few things that you may need to know uh, to use the gaming system. First of all, it's going to start you off on this page right here when you put your system on. Um, it has all of the gaming systems available. You just script left or right to choose them. The controller I give you with the system will already be set up, and I will show you how to set up a new controller. So on the controller you have hit the start button. You'll go to controller settings. Okay, and you'll press your B button on the controller that I give you now, and you can always pair a Bluetooth controller if you want. If you select this with the B button, it'll come up to select the Bluetooth controller. Just put your Bluetooth controller in pairing mode, and it should show up on your screen, and it should pair. Then you want to go to configure a controller. You can also use USB controllers. You can plug in a USB controller. This Raspberry Pi takes most controllers you get with a USB. It is a Linux-based system, but it should work with controllers that are based for PC too. You can also use Xbox 360, PlayStation 4 controllers. You can use their Bluetooth features on them. So you go to configure a controller, and it'll show you that a gamepad has been detected. You just hold a button on the gamepad, and then you just follow the on-screen prompts. Up, down, left, right, start, select, whatever you want to use for the A button, and you can see that it is highlighted how the buttons are set up. And this is based on an Xbox 360 controller or original Super Nintendo controller. So you just do your buttons accordingly. Alright, when you get to a point, if you don't have these buttons on your controller, you just hold a button on the controller and it will skip. And you just keep doing that for each one that you don't have. And finally, when you get down to your hotkey, I always use select as my hotkey. It's going to come in handy. You'll use start and select to exit a game after you've started. You'll use select and other buttons as well to use save states or load states. So I always use select because it's a button you don't normally use during the course of a game. You just hit your B button for OK. You can press your A button to go back, or you can scroll down to back. Now you can also set your inputs for your first controller, second controller. If you have different game pads, you just press over and you get it. I only have one controller hooked up right now, so that's what it's showing. So press your B button. If you are to add games, which is a complicated way, it's complicated to add them, but if you do want to add games, what you'll do is you'll go to game settings and you update your game list after you've added the game. And what that does is it just makes sure that the games that you put in show up in your systems. And if you do add games, you'll also want to scrape their art. So you'll go to scrape. You have to be on the internet for this, and I'll show you that in a moment. You'll go to scrape. Just leave everything the same as I've got it in here, and just go to scrape now. You can filter only missing data, or you can do every game again if you want to. I suggest leaving it the way it is and only do missing media. You can also select your systems. If you want to do MAME, Nintendo Entertainment, whatever, you can uncheck them or check them. And then you click start and it will start the scraping process. You can also scrape individually by going inside the system, selecting a game with the X button, and go to scrape. And remember to go back. You hit your A button. Okay, we have UI settings on here. That'll let you change. Basically, this is just to change the themes. Press your B button to select, and press your A button to go back, and it'll load, and you see your menu looks completely different. You can even go into the game system, and they look different as well. I have some downloaded on here already. When you get it, it will be on the Zoid theme, which is the theme I like. Okay, so network settings is a little different. You'll have to go in and type in your your SSID. You have to actually physically type that in. So find out what your SSID is, type it in, go in and type in your Wi-Fi key. Now nothing will happen initially. You'll just have to go out of the system like that, and then go back in, and you should be connected to the internet. If you're not, you'll need to do a restart. You go down to quit, shut down system, or restart system, and it'll restart for you. I wouldn't mess with anything in sound settings. There is background music if you want to hear it. You go to sound settings, you'll go to your front end music, and you can cut it on. I'm going to leave it off, and it will be off as default because the music's kind of annoying. It doesn't play during the games, but it is a bit annoying. That's pretty much all you'll need in here. You can look through your system settings if you want to. It'll give you information on how much disk space you've used, how much you have left, the temperature of your Raspberry Pi, all that other good stuff if you're a little bit of a geek and you want to look through it. Do not mess with the overclock. I have it set to maximum. This is running your games in your system at its max capacity. If you do stop the game and you want to cut it off, you always want to go to quit and shut down, because if you don't shut down properly, it could corrupt your SD card, and then you'll have to have it redone. That's pretty much it for that. You don't really need this stuff unless you want to really add a new controller, which I've showed you how to do, and I can go into more detail. You can always email me, call me, message me, and I'll go over details with you on how to do that. So you can just choose a game, and some of the controls you'll have to get used to for your games because they're automatically set. Really not hard to get used to them. Most of them are going to be the way you're used to, especially if you're Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, things like that. Just pretty much easy to figure out. And I'll go into a little bit of a game for you here. Scrolling through, you see I have the box art for the games, got the information in there for you. That's what scraping does. Just scroll down, find you a game you want to play. I'm going to stick with Mortal Kombat because it's a game I know. It's a game that most people know. And this is how it loads. It'll come up with these nice little bezels on the side of the screen, and it'll look like an old CRT TV, like the old TVs you use, the tube TVs. And I do have the sound cut off here. I'm going to cut it on real quick so we can kind of hear what's going on. And I'm going to cut my microphone off.
Fight! Come here! Excellent! Excellent! Scorpion wins.
And when you're ready to quit a game, you just hold the start button and press select. and that is how you quit a game. Okay? And there are plenty of games on here. You can scroll through this system using your left or right keys. Press your A button, you can scroll by system and then go into it. I have a bunch of games here. I've tried all these games. All of them work. I have not played every game from beginning to end, so if you're running any bugs, please let me know. I love the MAME systems. I've got a bunch of shooters on here for MAME. Now, it is a little different to use MAME because, you know, it's arcade based. So you do have to add coins to play. And to add the coins, you'll just press your select button. And that'll add your coins in there. And you just see I've got 20 credits on the screen.
Scorpion. Get over here!
And you'll notice this does have the blood.
Excellent. Scorpion wins. Get over here!
I had to throw in the finishing move for you guys just to remind you how awesome they were on the original Mortal Kombat. Well, anyway, that is the system. And like I said, you always want to shut down by going to quit, shut down system. There is a switch on the power cord for on and off. And yeah, if there's any questions you have, please feel free to email me, call me, or text me. You can also Facebook message me if you want. I do have a Facebook page. It's Remotes Required. My email address is remotes.required@gmail.com. And if you have my phone number, you have it. If not, you can get in touch with me on Facebook. I'm David Melton. And anything else you need to know, just let me know.